On to the Let's Play. I know that, it's kind of interesting as a Let's Play here now instead of the stream highlight thing, but I don't have any more streams to show right now, so all I got currently is just a Let's Play of a game that I have been playing, and I absolutely fucking hate. Oh boy. Like, it's not Dave Gravity Game's bike, but it's up there. Welcome to Wild Wild Racing, a game that, we did like 2 demo plays off beforehand, and I thought, hey, maybe this could be interesting. I mean, it got 2 demo plays. It was supposed to be one of these launch titles for the steering wheel and such a PS2 and all, and it was going to be a big deal in a sense. And I played it, and I hated it, because the biggest issue of this game is that it is unfairly difficult. You know how Dark Souls is like super hard, but it's fair? It's fair in the fact that, you know, there's logic to it, there's like strategy to it, and you can kind of figure out and get better and better, and you don't get fucked by the game as easily as you were before because of that, right? Wild Wild Racing's not that. So here's the thing, there's quick race, which we're never going to look at because it's just normal racing things. You want to do like a single race thing for fun. Championship, time attack, and challenge. These are the 3 that we're going to go for. Challenge is how we're going to get new vehicles. And the first one we're getting right off the bat is the Kemono. Before we can actually do it, we have to do a quest, which requires us to use either the Typhoon or the Demon, or we can go back and use the first card we have to select, Double Moon. As you can see, these 3 go by speed, acceleration, handling. Handling's the least you have to worry about, really. The main thing you want to worry about is top speed and the middle acceleration. And for me, Double Moon will help me out with doing the quest here, even though I am just barely going to make this time here. So the gold here is 3 minutes, and we are going to get every single gold. In fact, we're also going to be trying to beat every single record in the game, every single time record, because there is something you get for doing every single time record. So, yeah, here's the thing. A lot of those time records we're going to be beating, just because of the fact the AI is going to be that much of a piece of shit about it. So, yeah. This is Wild Wild Racing, and the first thing you gotta learn is that steering does not like you. Even if you have the best steering in the game, it is super tight no matter what. So, all you can really do is, either you can just brake and then fucking accelerate from there, you know, slow down and then turn, or you'll be doing what I'm going to be doing, which is a tactic that is something I don't like, but I am used to doing from some racing games, and that is the slide, the power sliding. And the tactic is that you have your fucking index finger kinda on the acceleration button. No, wait, you have your thumb on the acceleration button, or you use your finger. And either you use your finger or your middle finger for the circle button, which you'll use to slide. So, you're basically just holding it kind of like in a pinch motion, where you have to just accelerate the X button with your thumb or your finger, but your other finger right next to it has to every now and then press the circle button. And to start off with, not that bad, you know, you do that, and it does help on the turns a lot more than just turning normally, and you'll be using it quite a bit in this game. But after a while, you then start to realize that the game is realizing you're doing this, and it's starting to fuck you there. So you then have to like tap it in the slightest amount, as much as you can, in order to get the best possible case of a turn and not overturn. And then you're just kind of fucked from there on out. It starts getting stupid. But right now, it's not too bad. The thing about challenge mode is that there are 3 sets, and the first set is the quest set, which you're seeing right now. It is always going to be collecting the letters that make up the name of the vehicle you're using. And if you saw from the intro, there is a vehicle that has a long title to it. Yeah, it's gonna get stupid. But the other ones you're gonna see after you complete quests. But quests is just get the letters as fast as you can. And for the most part, when it comes to this first one, it is difficult to do with your starter vehicles because of the fact that you are not that fast, your steering's kind of shit, and you're just starting how the game is going to be fucking you the entire time. And not only that, but you have no idea where the letters are because the game doesn't ever tell you on the minimap or anything where they are. So you have to look at the main game, and they're not that easy to see on the main game. Everything's kind of just like pixely and shit, so it's hard to even see, and things start playing together, especially when there's road. But hey, we did it, and we got the Kemono. So that's the first thing I've ever done of the game, and with that, we now have the first unlockable vehicle in the game, the Kemono.
Kemono.
And now we have the Kemono, or the Kemono, even though they say Kemono, we can now do a mode called Skill. And we have to do Skill and the third one with the vehicle we unlocked, which is the Kemono, is okay so far. Its acceleration and handling is about on par with 2 of our starters, but it has terrible acceleration currently. Don't be fixing it soon. But Skill is always the same as well, in which they're all going to be the same, really. This is where you push a ball through a checkpoint. We have 13 seconds to do it for this one. It's just a straight line of this one. It's kind of got like 2 hills to it, but that's about it. The main thing of this one, however, is just push the ball into the finish line. That's it. Doesn't sound that bad, but it does get, you know, naughty with a few of the ball challenges later on. The skill challenges are quite honestly the easiest, however, overall. And yeah, the best one for this one is you want to slow down, because you keep accelerating like that, you're going to go right over the ball. And there's basically the theme song of the game right here that was there from the demo and shit, essentially. But yeah, if you want to do this ball one, push until you get the second hill, then start slowing down, and then push it. And there you go. Now we got the Kemono engine. Every time you do these, the skill always gives you the engine for the vehicle. And for us, we have the engine for the Kemono, which means that our stats have now upgraded for this vehicle.
Kemono.
And we're going to need those stats for Stunt, which is the last mode we have to do, and Stunt gives us a trophy for the car. And as you can see, my stats are now better than any of our starter vehicles, essentially. So I'm going to be using this vehicle for the races ahead of us for now. Stunt is a stunt course, and we have 27 seconds to do the stunt course. We just go through the entire course they have set up for us, which is a lot of turns, a lot of hills, a lot of jumps, a lot of bullshit, and just do it as fast as we can. That's about it. We kind of already saw this in a demo play, so you kind of have a gist of what it's going to be like. But for the most part, it's exactly what you think. It's not going to be that fun. And in case you're wondering, yes, I believe every single thing in the demo plays I've done is in the actual, like, game here. So, we had our practice, but it's been a while since I practiced, so it's still not great either. However, I am going to edit it, and you might notice it, you might not notice it. It should be obvious from the audio, though. But, yeah. That last bit there, the hill there, is the worst part. Well, actually the worst part is going around the bends, but the hill is going to be a naughty thing for you, the fucking stunt challenges, because they start getting steep. And but we have to beat the beginner championship in order to unlock the next challenges. So for now, all we can do is time attack and championship. And I'm going to use time attack first because there are things to time attack that we have to do. India, Iceland, and USA. You might notice that each one has like vehicle names to them, because each one of them will unlock an engine for these cars right now for beginner, and we're going to need to go ahead and unlock them. So I'm going to be going for beginner first, and uphill is the first thing for it. There's uphill, downhill, and flat, and they all have separate times. All the tracks are split into 3 sections, and we have to do each section in order to beat them. And we have to beat each section, like all 3 sections, in order to unlock the item that for this one is the engine. So here's the thing about this track here, the USA one, which, as you saw, was the one we started out with to get the Kemono. This track has some shit to it, and we kind of already got ourselves accustomed to it from the challenge, so we already have a bit of a gist on how things are going to go for the time attack. And we already have an idea on how I'm going to go fast for the time attack with it. And we are going to get the Kemono for it. We can do this double moon, but it's a lot harder to do with demo moon, so I'm good to go using the Kemono to beat all the times for these ones. But yeah, you get a gist for USA from the challenge mode. However, you don't know what the fuck goes on with the other 2, India and Iceland. They start showing their colors with that stuff, because USA is the easiest of the 5 tracks in this game. Yes, 5. Not many, but they really accumulate on the pain. And there's fucking pain. So that was the first one. As you just saw, it was easy. Like, the time there was not that bad, and I was a complete fucking bitch if I didn't beat these first 3 time trials first try, because I just did the track already. So, you know, with the Kemono, I should be able to beat them. And by the way, the Kemono, it is faster and has better handling. Its acceleration is a bit lower than the second vehicle, which is the Typhoon. But who cares? Like, the other 2 stats are better. We're going for that one. Especially when it comes to top speed. Top speed should be your main priority when it comes to choosing a vehicle in this game, because the main thing we focused on is the time attacks and the challenge mode. And championship is also going to be a concern for you on that, but there's a reason to why you're going to be half and half on that. But yeah, time attack and challenge mode, you're going to want top speed for it, like, right off the bat. You don't want to just fuck with acceleration, and you don't want to care too much about handling either, because handling, because of how tight and fucked the game is, you're going to be using the handbrake a lot anyway to do the sliding thing. It's not going to matter too much anyway there, so you're going to be kind of samey no matter what with the handling. And acceleration, you're going to need to get that top speed immediately, but the change is not as big as top speed is when it comes to acceleration. So, yeah, like, your main concern is top speed, because the more top speed you have, the faster your vehicle will be when it comes to straights and such, and downhill. Because it will fucking go when it's going downhill. And yeah, like, I beat all these my first try. You might get them much better than I am here with this vehicle. But the main thing I want to do right now is just beat the times and move on. Because you beat the times, you get the item. And that's the main reason I'm doing this. So, yeah, here comes the flat. And, yeah, the way this works is that there's an uphill part, which you're going up a hill, and the track's going upwards. And there's a downhill, where the track's starting to go downwards, and it's kind of taking you downhill. The flat is essentially the rest of the area that isn't a hill, that isn't like a fucking mountain. You're just having, like, a sort of normal track. There can be some hilly bits in the flat, but for the most part, it really is just, like, the rest of the level. So, yeah. this is the rest of the track, essentially, for USA. And it has a bit of road. There will be bits of road every now and then of these tracks. Well, most of them, anyway. And, yeah, like, for the most part, you're going to be on the dirt. But on the road, your steering is much better on the road. But on the dirt, you start going stiff as fuck. Except when you're on the road and you do a handbrake turn, your handbrake turn is having a lot more fucking friction to it. So you slide a lot more violently on the road than you do on the dirt. And there's also ice physics. And dirt physics will slow you down. And yeah, there's a lot of physics to the ground. There's also a lot of problems to the ground, which you might have noticed. Like there's gravel bits when you're going up that one little hilly turn there. Yeah, that just fucks you up bad. It slows you down greatly, and it also fucks your turns. So, yeah, you don't want that. But it's always in the way of, like, being able to get the quickest turn possible, so you kind of have to deal with it. And then you got Double Moon engine now. So there you go. You got the engine of Double Moon, you can now move on from there. And that's essentially Time Attack in a nutshell. So now we've done USA entirely, it's now time to check out India. Or is it going to be like, no, it's India next. So yeah, there's the engine.
India.
And here comes
USA.
India. And as you can see, the engines are different for each vehicle.
Kemono. Demon.
So here's the stats now for Double Moon, and it looks fine.
Kemono.
However, as you can see, the stats for Kemono are better because, like, bigger top speed, and I believe better handling too. Again, the acceleration is better on Double Moon, but the main thing is top speed, so, you know. But now it's time for India, and India starts off rather mean, because India essentially gives you very tight U-turns from the very get-go. First of all, you start off here, and what you might notice is that there's going to be like a branching path thing, but one of the paths is not shown as white, it's shown as like sort of the outer line of the thing. That color is for shortcuts, and yeah, I can use them, but that's not really a shortcut, that's just a normal path really. But yeah, here's that turn I was talking about, where it's like tight U's. Like, yeah. Now you're starting to get the feel of, like, the pain of this fucking game, because those turns are just, like, the fucking, like, practice for what you'd be expecting for this game when it comes to its corners. Because then you get to this part, and you start realizing there's a lot of moments where the game wants you to make a U-turn. And U-turns basically make up the majority of the game. So, you're going to be doing a lot of this. And not only that, you're going to be doing a lot of just like bumpy roads, which can fuck your turns normally and make things very awkward and difficult for you there as well. But so far, uphill, not that bad, you know? Yeah, the turns were shitty, but you can handle them, and you have enough time, because the times here on beginner are very nice to you. They're not that bad. That's not gonna stay for the rest of the fucking game, though, okay? After beginner, like, the game just starts being an asshole. But yeah, here comes downhill for beginner, and downhill is where you're going to be learning how to control your turning, and to be careful of jumps. Because this game has no issue flipping you about, and it will have fun flipping you about, and fucking you up that way. And yeah, it's just not going to be fun. It's not going to be fun. But here's the thing, you're playing for a beginner your first time, and this is your, you know, your fucking thing for it. And the thing is, you're not really, like, getting much out of, like, the difficulty of this game. Like, yeah, you're getting some shittiness here and there, like that jump there really fucks you. But, you know, the game isn't fucking you on the time. You know, you're figuring out how you're gonna work this out, and it's not looking too bad for you. Wait until we get into Amateur, which, by the way, difficulties for this game are Beginner, Amateur, and Pro. There are no experts in this game. Which, to be honest, is good, because I feel like Expert would be legitimately impossible. I'm just saying, right off the bat. Considering what I have to do in order to even beat Pro times? Like, I'm fine with fucking Expert not existing. Also, here's a shortcut, but it's not that great a shortcut. It's better than nothing, though. Let's just skip that entire turn. That's a shortcut the game does not actually, like, you know, notify you as a shortcut. There are a small few shortcuts that the game does not track on the minimap. And that was one of them. Another one is going to be right ahead of us later on. But yeah, here comes the flat, which is mainly going to be the pipe area. Like, it's just the pipe area. It's not just because there's like an area where there's a bunch of pipes all around the place. It's because you can be riding around a pipe. Remember that area in like Hot Wheels Extreme Racing where there's like an area that was like a bunch of pipes and you can like ride around them and shit, and it was kind of awkward? This is that. Because, you know, you kind of go in and then you start like experiencing the pipe. Yeah. It's kind of awkward and janky. And they kind of put rubble and shit all around the way to piss you off a little bit more. But the main thing is that afterwards you get to this spot, and they want you to like cross-section in and out. But the thing is, you can just skip the whole fucking thing. You can just like drive right past. Here's the rest of the problem. Now you get into this shit, and there's a whole bunch of shit and no straight line really to work with. So you're just kind of working with what you got. And you don't want to fall off, by the way. But afterwards, when you get over to here, and here comes that shortcut that isn't really, like, mentioned by the game. No, it is. I didn't see that beforehand. Okay, it is mentioned by the game. But it looks like it's just like a fucking off bit, isn't there? But here's a shortcut right here that is mentioned, but you're never going to use, because it's useless. Like, the main thing you want to use is just, you know, the shortcut to the right there, and then you go around, and you take this pipe this way. This is the null path now. Null path is faster. And it's finished. That's it. That entire bit looked messy, didn't it? That's because it is messy, and the AI is going to have a hard time figuring out where to go with that. It's going to get fucking dumb. But there's the engine for the Typhoon, and now we have Iceland left with Demon. So here's the Typhoon. The acceleration is the best now, but the handling and the top speed are bitch level. Who cares? But now it's time for Iceland, and this is where the ice physics come in, because now you're going to be experiencing what it's like to slide. Like, if you weren't doing the handbrake beforehand, and I don't know why you wouldn't be, considering how you feel the turns, but if you weren't doing the handbrake turn beforehand, the game is going to force you to get used to sliding right now, especially when it comes to the flat. But right now, here is the uphill. And the uphill for this one is not fun. Like, it's really uphill. And it really makes you do some big turns. And it goes through some snow too, which kind of at this dirt and kind of at this ice. And they have it all over the place, so get ready for that. It has some awkward bends, which you can obviously tell might be shortcuts. And there's also this little gap here to your left. That's supposed to be an unmarked shortcut in a sense. Don't use it. It's not worth it. like, you have to make an awkward turn for that. And while it might save you a second, you don't want to use it. Especially since then you get a really awkward bumpiness to it, and then you get a very awkward exit. So yeah, just don't bother. And yeah, then you get these awkward little turns here where you can't tell when the turns are gonna be, and they kind of put some like hill stops there, some flats on the hills. It's really shitty. But yeah, afterwards then you begin the downhill, and downhill is like, it starts off being a road. And the downhill is where your problems begin. Because you see, I am not going to be able to pull off the downhill on beginner first try. The downhill for Iceland is where the problems begin. For me, at least. Like, everything else I can beat first try. I can't with downhill of Iceland. Downhill of Iceland really bites my ass. And the first thing that bites my ass is going to be the road part. Because you see, for the road part, you have to be careful about your slide. Because maybe the game lets you turn normally and actually lets you do the whole turn. Maybe the turn will not fucking do that and it'll just be super tight, you'll run into a wall no matter what. So you have to be cautious when to hit the handbrake. Also, now you know when the cut was because the music changed. But, yeah, the main thing here is that I tried. And that's gonna happen a bit. That's gonna happen a fair bit. Like, I'm not gonna get it well. I have to try, though, but that turn's gonna fuck me. But after that is this turn, which is gonna fuck me all the time. Because those signs, like the shit that they put in the way, like the signs, suck because they act like bricks. When you hit them, yeah, they'll knock about, but they stop you entirely. In fact, cones will do the same thing. Yes, little fucking cones will act like bricks that can stop you completely. This game's a dickhead there. And it's gonna get bad when it comes to those signs and shit, because they can get in your way. And the last thing is this turn here, which you might notice, it didn't say checkpoint. I've had moments where the game did not even count that checkpoint, and I got to the finish line, it didn't count the finish line, so it never finished it. Even though I made the time, it never actually counted, so yeah, be careful, because the game can glitch out like that, where it just, like, doesn't even let you finish. It's fucky. It's really fucky. But now here comes the flat. And the thing is, I can handle it. You are gonna have to get used to it on your first time, though, because the flat time for beginner is ice. It's just ice. And you're gonna be sliding. And you gotta get used to how you're gonna slide, how you're gonna manage that slide. The AI will take the outer rim, usually, for the sliding. You should not. You'll see what I mean. In fact, you'll see the minimap kind of change color a little bit, where it's like light blue, sort of, and then it just becomes blue. That blue bit there is the ice. So, here's the first ice bit. It's not that bad, because you can just cut off from there. Here's the second ice bit. You gotta turn. It's not too terrible because it's kind of like a nice thin ice thing. Then you get a U-turn here, then you get the third ice, which, the third ice is not fuck around, it's an L. It's a tight turn. Yeah! Most of the AI is gonna end up doing that, if not all of the AI. You should not. Get ready for handbraking there. And this last one, it wants to go to the other side there and go around the ice. Don't. Just cut through, and you get to the finish line. There you go. We got all the engines for the cars we currently have. Now, we go for the championship, which I'm not doing this part, because it's about 30 minutes already. And the championship's going to take me about 20 minutes, so, yeah. Next time on Wild Wild Racing, we are going to begin the Championship of Beginner class, which we're going through all 3 of the tracks we already did with the Kemono. And this sets for Demon, they're not that great. Forget about the Demon, essentially, and the Kemono. Don't forget the Double Moon, however. We'll get to Double Moon later on. Don't worry, there's a reason why. But for now, I'll see you next time for the Championship Beginner. Thanks for watching, everybody.